Hari Om everyone, welcome to this class on Purusha Sukta. So we'll start with the chanting first. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvanmutibi Sidhu Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we are into the middle part of this Purusha Sukta, where we are looking at the manifestation and its relationship with the manifesting power, the Purusha, who then, of course, connects with that manifestation, becomes one with that manifestation, enters that manifestation, and expands that manifestation. So, therefore, we have seen the different beings that are created by him, the different aspects of the universe that are created. So we'll just chant the fifth part here. Tasma dashva jayanta ye kecho bhayadatah gavo jagnire tasmat jata ajavayah yat purusham vyadaduhu kratidha vyakalpayan मुखम किमस्य कौबाहु कावूरुपादावुच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यकृतः ऊरु तदस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षो सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणाद्वायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीत् अन्तरिक्षम् शीर्ष्णोऽध्यो समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिशश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागम अकल्पयन्. So the Lord has, the Purusha has created all the beings, including all the categories. So Brahman, the Rajanya representing the Kshatriya, Vaishya, and the Shudra. And his mind is the represented by the moon. The moon is the reflecting power. And Chakshuhu, Surya Jayata, the eyes representing the sun. So in this way, the Lord is running all the beings of the universe by his conscious power. So this running, this and the relationship we were exploring, first of all, the aspect of the jiva, what his attitude should be, that was in the previous part with the yagya, tam yagya barishi prakshan, and now the parapurushaha, his relationship, how he nurtures all of us, right? And so there we were looking at in the last class about how Avatar is descending onto earth without changing, without even actually taking birth. He appears to take birth, right? Because of his power. That is his special power, we can say, the special power of Maya, by which the unborn, the undividable, the undivisible can then become appear divided or appear to take birth or appear to take a body. And when he does that, he intimately associates with us. He intimately loves us because we have separated from him only. We are his parts only. So we represented that in the form that this world is, the beings of this world are like the tears of the Lord. They have separated from him. Right? So Krishna, here we have seen, is shown in the Bhagavad as one who through his avatara demonstrates all these truths in the form of different stories, in the form of different leelas, we call them. In the form of different leelas, he demonstrates what his avatara means, what how people can relate to him, and how people can get out of this realm of samsara, how they can move out. So we saw his association with the different people in his life. We saw Arjuna, how he prompted him to get over in the war, and to him he revealed this avatara reference. So then Bhagavan also says that I keep testing the surrender, prapatti. I keep testing my surrender. So there, this all the jivas, whenever they do any sadhana to become one with this Lord, then he checks that whether they are really sincere about it. And so, therefore, there is a story in the Bhagavad also. So the in the night, the Lord went to Vrindavan. When Shivandan, he was doing his Basuri Vadan, and the Gopis reached there. The Gopis reached there. So when the Lord reached there and he saw them coming, and he said he wanted to test them. So said, why have you come here? Kyun aaye ho? So they said that we have come to you with love. So the Lord says, okay, you have seen me na, darshan ho gaya na. Now it's night time, now go home. So Lord, he has never said this kind of thing. He always says that if you want to stay, you can stay, or you can do whatever you want to. Straight away he said, it's night time, please go home. So Gopis, they said, no, how can we go back? We have come here to be with you, to do Ras Leela with you. So Lord has, he tried to convince them in different ways. And then finally, when they were not listening, he became a bit angry. And he said, look, you say you love me, na? So, but you first understand my nature. What is, so Gopi, so we know your nature. You don't need to tell us. समझाने की जरूरत नहीं, हमें पता है. So Lord said, no, you don't know me. So there he gives an example of three kinds of love. तीन तरह के प्यार होते हैं. So there are three kinds of people. First is one who loves someone, and that person who loves them back. They only love that person. So their love is dependent on the other person's love for them. If you love them back, then only they will love you. If you don't give them attention, if you don't give them any kind of extra affection, then they move away. They said, "Tum to meri taraf dhyan hi nahi dete," hai na? So that is the first kind. Then what is the second kind? Though the second is the ones who, when they love someone, then they keep on loving. It doesn't matter to them whether the other person gives. प्रेम करते ही जाएंगे. उनके लिए कोई मतलब नहीं है रुक जाए. And the third kind is that when you love them, however much you love them, they don't want to love you back. They don't want to love you back. They are engrossed in their own self. So now Bhagavan says that I am of the third kind. I am of the third kind. So I am the Sakshi Chaitanya. I am just the witness. So how can you expect me to love you back? So whatever love you keep giving me, even you can read my Shastra, you can read everywhere. It is written everywhere. Asangoham Purusha Asanga Nirlepaha. So I am Asangaha, unattached. I am Nirlepaha. I have no connection with you. So I do not love anyone who loves me back also. So therefore he says, you keep loving me, I cannot give you back any love. So now the gopis, they say, they are nodding their head. Okay, acha. Just look this side. Jara idhar to dekho. Why are you looking up at the sky? आकाश में क्यों देख रहे हो? Because you know very well that when you are looking at the akasha, then you are taking up the bhava of akasha, which is nirlep, nisanga. The moment you look at us, you will be trapped. So therefore, just turn towards us and then repeat what you have said. जरा हमारी तरफ देख के ये बात बोलो. So भगवान, the gopi said, we know your nature. हाँ, हमें आपके स्वभाव का पता है. We know your nature. So whoever comes in front of you, you turn your shape into the shape of the person in front of you. Because consciousness takes up whatever shape there is of the object. Like when we observe an object, then what happens? Our mind takes up the shape of that object. And that shape enters our mind, right? Same way the Lord also, he is the eternal consciousness. He takes up the shape of every being. So that is why the amount of love that you have for him, he gives back the same amount to you all at that time. And that is why, because you have separated from him, he is always waiting for you to come to him. So when he when we don't look towards him, then Lord also doesn't look towards us. He's looking at the Akasha. Then he is nirlep. Then he is unattached. He doesn't have any kind of relationship with us. But just try to love him a little bit, and then you will instantly start feeling, if your love is real, that the Lord also gives you back attention. Matlab, there are so many devotees who have seen the Vigraha, the Murti cry, who have seen the Murti do different things like smile. And there was this Bhakta Namdev. For him, the Murti came to life. So there have been so many devotees. So they are not just stories. They are not stories. So Ravidas. So many stories. Then we went to this Udupi, where you have this Kankana Kirki. There is a window which was turned towards on the back side. So when this devotee, he used to go from the back to see the darshan of the Lord, he couldn't see. So then the Lord turned his face towards that, and then now people worship through that window, right? So therefore, when we turn towards the Lord, he also turns towards us, and then he becomes Tadakar, of the same shape as us. His love becomes the same as our love, and then slowly he starts drawing us to him, like the that diya, that light. It draws that patanga towards itself, and he burns us, and he converts us to his form. अपने रूप में हमें बना लेते हैं, है ना? The one we saw in the last class. So there we become his pratibimba, and then slowly we enter him and we become one with the bimba. Just like when we remove the mirror, the pratibimba is gone, right? So that is what we call the Sakshi Bhav. So same way, Lord also, when he saw the gopis, and then finally he understood that now my lecture will not affect them. Meri dal ya galle wali nahi hai. So then he understood, and then he said, okay, let's do. And they started the Ras Leela. And that is also another story I'll tell you some other time. But it's a very beautiful story about how each gopi finds that the Krishna is one with them. He's dancing with them. But the moment they think that Krishna be only with me, he disappears. So this is basically what we call the avatar swarup of Paramatma. So when all the jivas, they give up their attachments to the world, they take his support only, they take only his love, then even while remaining asangaha, even while remaining unattached, he becomes with attachment. He becomes sangaha. And not just for appearance's sake. It's not just a fake thing. Actually, he becomes. So this is in what we call Sakshi Bhav, when we are the witness. Then in the witness, what happens is that the witness form or the witness vritti thought is more stronger than the pramata vritti. So what is Sakshi vritti and pramata vritti? Sakshi vritti is the witness who is witnessing everything. But pramata is when I am witnessing one particular object, and that vritti is formed in my mind. So that vritti will be only as long as I am the pramata, I am the knower. As long as I am the knower, then till that time only that thought will remain. But in the Sakshi, that vritti will remain eternally. That is why it is said that the Lord remembers our pains even long after they have gone.
Oh. I didn't understand from.
So pramata is, I am looking at this book. So I am seeing, so this is a book. This thought comes in my mind. Now this book is gone. Book is gone. So now I'm looking at this mic or this camera. And when I look at this camera, I see, and the thought comes in my mind, ki this is the camera. So that vritti is gone. So now I'm no longer a pramata of the book. अभी मैं किताब को जानने वाला नहीं रहा.
That means the temporary.
So the temporary witness. Witness. Pramata is the knower. Knower means जिसको कोई ज्ञान हुआ. जो जानने वाला. So whenever someone is a knower, जब भी कोई वस्तु को जानने वाला होता है, वो थोड़ी देर के लिए होता है. It's a very, very short time. But the Sakshi, the witness principle, it remains eternal. right? So we are jivas, we are like the pramata. We have a very short life. But the Paramatma, the Ishvara, he is the Sakshi. So he has knowledge of all our previous and coming births also, right? He has all those knowledges. So therefore, within him, the imprint of any of our pain or sorrow, it remains for a longer time, or it not just longer, it remains with him eternally. That is why he feels our uh, pain and all. No, so that is why we said no. Sometimes we say that the jiva has a lot of attachments. बहुत आसक्ति है जीव में. We have lots of attachments. So the wise people, no, they laugh at this. So they say that what kind of attachment can a jeev have? You don't even remember a few years back what happened to you, right? So therefore your asakti will be gone after some time. Your attachment will be gone. There is a statement by Bhagwan Bhashyakar Shankaracharya. He says, Kati Nam Sutana Lalita. So today, who is your wife? You remember. But what about the wives of the previous birth or children of the previous birth? वो तो याद ही नहीं है. No one remembers them, right? You don't remember, but Ishvara remembers. So he is the one who is who bears all your pains and pleasures for all time. So the jiva is actually anasakta. He is not without any kind of attachment. His attachments are very, very temporary, very, very short-lived. So this avatara, this Ishvara, when he connects to us, he takes over all of our pains and pleasures. And when we are facing him also, जब हम भी उसकी तरफ सदृश हो जाते हैं, when we look at it, then he starts pulling us towards him. And when he pulls us towards him, he makes us in his form only. हम उसके ही रूप में ढल जाते हैं. We become one with him. And once we become one with him, then he ultimately takes us to our liberation, where we are attaining that same form with him, right? We are attaining that same form with him. So this is called Ishvaravad. In Ishvaravada, we learn to understand that the longer we are away from him, we are wasting our life. So therefore, Lord takes up all our pains and pleasures. No, Bhagwan Krishna, he took all the pains. He was born in such a difficult circumstances, born in a jail. He then had a very difficult childhood. He was taken away by Putna. Then even in the Yuddha, he said, I will not pick up any weapon. But then again, when needed, he picked up the chakra. So, the wheel chakra उठाया लिया था ना. So he took up that wheel. So, can he do it if he's asanga? No. So he does it because he has this love for us. So therefore, this love that we are getting from him, this has to make us more and more desirous of reaching out to him, becoming one with him, loving him back. The more we love him, the more we will be able to connect with him, right? So now we have understood this avatar rahasya. So this avatar rahasya is one part in the chain of this, what we call the creation, Srishti Kram. So in the Srishti Kram, we have first of all the Srishti happens with Maya. Then we have Vidya, which is the knowledge which is going to control Maya. Then we have Maheshwara, who when he Shiva, who will maintain the creation, and then Sadashiva. Sadashiva is the highest or unattached form of the Lord. When Krishna is looking towards the sky, right? That is Sadashiva. So, and then we have the 5 Shakti Tattvas, which are the 5 Mahabhutas. So this is what we see in the, when we see when we see this Tripura Chakra, there we see this form that is related. So it has a lot of detail. We are not going to that. There are 44 tattvas, each of them then described. So therefore, we will not look into all of these. But then through this, the Lord has created this universe in the form of a projection, right? What we call, we give another name for that. That is called the Indrajal, right? So Indrajal. So this Indrajal is something that is witnessed, but not actually there. That is not actually there. So first we can understand this in this form, that in Vedanta, whatever we have seen earlier in the last class of Kathopanishad also, that always there has to be a Chetan Karan for anything. Right? The sentient cause will always be there. insentient cause can never be there, right? Insentient cause will never be there. कभी भी कोई जड़ वस्तु दूसरे का कारण नहीं हो सकती है. Why? Because जड़ cannot move, है ना? So जड़ is what is the definition of जड़ा? जो खुद को भी नहीं जानता है, दूसरे को भी नहीं जानता है. One who knows neither itself nor the other. So then it can never become a cause for anything else. Never. It will need a sentient entity to bring that thing to change and become something else, right? So हमने भी अगर दूध से दही बनानी है तो अपने आप नहीं बन जाएगी. If we have to make curd, we have to, someone has to insert something, right? We have to insert that curd, small, what we call jam or whatever we call, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? जामन बोलते हैं ना, एक और भी बोलते हैं ना, हाँ, खट्टा. In Punjabi, खट्टा. So we have to introduce that. No, अपने आप नहीं बन जाएगा. So always there has to be चेतन कर्ता. And if we understand this concept, we will take up a lot of responsibility in our life. Very, very important this is. Unless we understand, we will see in later other examples also. So only the rule is only the chetan or the sentient can become the cause. Jada can become the upadhi of the sentient. Jada can become the upadhi, like I am chetan and I am using my eyes to see something, or I am using a utensil to cook something. So that vessel, that kadai or whatever I'm using, that can become my upadhi. That can become something I'm using to make something. But ultimately the cause will have to be chetan or sentient. For a sentient cause, that is the necessary. So now when we meditate on the cause, and then the whole world is, like we said, Indrajal, something that is projected. So what is Indrajal? It appears in between. अभी आ गया, पहले नहीं था, बाद में भी नहीं होगा. So the magician is showing us something like he draws a rabbit out of the hat. So what is the rabbit? Rabbit has appeared. It was not there earlier, but later also it will disappear because that rabbit is an illusion, right? So therefore, this world also is something that appears in between, but was not there before and will not be later also. We call this by two technical terms we saw earlier. One is the Praga Bhav and Pradvansa Bhav. Before being born, it was not there. Prag Abhav. So before being born, it was not there. And again, Pradvansa Bhav. After death, it will not exist. Or after disintegration, it will not exist. Just like the pot is broken. So after being broken, it cannot be called a pot anymore. Right? It is no longer a pot. So therefore, this world is like this, Indrajal only. Just like, the ocean, this is one ocean, but in between there is the perception of different waves or different foam, bubbles, but always it was the ocean, it still is the ocean, it will be the ocean. But in between the waves are appearing, wave is just an appearance. It has no reality of its own. Or you can take the example of dream also, Swapnavastha. So Swapna, in dream also what happened? The dream was not there before you were awake. It will not be there after being awake. And in the between, when you're sleeping, then only the dream is there. Then only the perception of the dream is there. Same way, the magician also, he can have an effect only on those people who are susceptible. किसी का अगर बहुत strong mind है ना, वो नहीं बुद्धू बनेगा. He will see through that trick, right? Someone who is very intelligent or someone is very, we can say, perceptive. Someone who notices things carefully, he will catch him. No, you didn't take the rabbit out of the hat. It was below the table hiding there. Or you did take the cards from thin air. It was hidden up your sleeve. There was a very beautiful story by William Somerset Maugham about the jester. So there, it's a long story. Just look it up sometime. So in that, what happens is that this magician, he's doing lots of tricks, and so he says he takes different things. So whatever he produces, he said, you took it out of your sleeve. He produces a big chair. That also the other person says. So ultimately, he takes a revenge. I will not reveal the whole detail. Search up the story. It's a very beautiful one. So in this magician, whenever he's doing something, he is doing something that is like a trickery. He might produce a lot of big things also. right? But there are some ways in which how they do it. So same way, this world also, it is like a magician's trick. That is why in Hinduism we have this philosophy called Indra's net. So in Indra's net, there is a net, and at every node, every joint of the net, there is a diamond, and each diamond is reflecting all the other diamonds. So we say that is the representation of the world. ये सृष्टि ऐसी है. We are all like that diamond, and within us is the reflection of all the beings around us in the universe. And the closer we are to the other diamonds, those are the ones we connect to the most, right? But the more we give out our love, or we give out good vibes to others, or bad vibes, same way, they will travel along the chain to other also. So the more we give out to one person, that good vibe will go to 5, 6 persons to which he is connected. So if we don't want to do good in the world or bad in the world, we have to be always aware that it is going to get passed around, not just to one person, but all the way up the chain, and maybe long, long way up, right? So that is how we represent the world also. So this Indrajal is like this world also, the same concepts. So and now when we look at this appearance of the world, how ये दुनिया कैसे दिखती है, so we can compare it with we also produce daily, we produce a world every day. What is that world? The dream world. So when we see that dream world, how does it appear? First, when we see this dream world, then there is a veil, a parda, the veil that comes, and so after that we start seeing the dream. The veil is hiding the visible world from us, right? Veil is hiding the visible world. So when that dream starts to appear, then what happens is we do not see that veil. We do not then we think that actually the veil has been removed. हमें लगता है पर्दा हट गया. We see something that we had not seen before. So therefore, what is feel actually was a veil. It feels the opposite. It feels the opposite. It feels like the veil has been cast aside and it has been removed, and we are seeing. So like we saw in Tattva Bodh also, that in the dream what is happening? Swakale Satyavat Bhati. In its actual time, it appears like real. Swakale Satyavat Bhati Prabodhe Asad Bhaved. When we wake up in the morning, it becomes unreal. Sad Bhaved. So therefore, this dream also, when we wake up, we rediscover that that was a dream world only. On waking up, we understand that the veil was actually there at the time of the dream. उस टाइम हमारी आंख पे पर्दा पड़ा था, इसलिए दिख रहा था. What is that पर्दा? What is that veil? Veil of sleep. So now this veil or this parda, in technical terms, in Vedantic term, it is called ignorance or अज्ञान. अज्ञान का पर्दा आ जाता है तो हमें जगत दिखना शुरू हो जाता है. So because this veil appears, what is hidden from us now? Our true nature, Brahma. Our Brahma Swarup, our true nature of being Brahman is hidden. So from being the infinite Brahman, I become the Agyat Brahman. That is the hidden Brahman, the Brahman who has limitations, right? So now same way, when our vision moves away from the reality, then we can see the Indrajal. As long as we are focused on the reality, the Indrajal will not appear or not affect us, right? Or like you can say the mirage. Some people see a mirage. So this mirage appears only when we are focused away from the reality. How does mirage appear? When we are going in a desert, we are thirsty, and our mind is so disturbed that I start to see waves in front of my mind, and slowly my mind imagines those waves to be like water, and I think I'm seeing water, but actually I am not seeing water. So what has happened? My reality has disappeared because of my fatigue, of my tiredness, or my lack of water. So in this way, this world appears like the vision when Agyan has clouded my eyesight. So someone who sees the reality, for him the mirage or this Indrajal or something, any kind of magic, it won't appear. उसको नहीं दिखेगा. Like the snake and the rope, we see the example. So one who is seeing the rope clearly, he will not see the snake. But only the one who's not seeing the rope clearly, that is when it is semi-dark, then only it can only become visible. The snake can become visible. Same way, this world is also visible when we are in ajnanam, when we are in ignorance. So now, what can agyan or this ignorance be its own cause? That is what we have to investigate. This agyan, first we have to understand. Agyan cannot be its own cause. Why? Because it is non-sentient. जड़ है. अज्ञान अपना कारण नहीं हो सकता. So जड़ cause will always be sentient or conscious. So, or we can say another way. We can say in another way that consciousness in association with the jada, association with that agyan, has created the universe. So conscious will have to remain. Consciousness रहना पड़ेगा. When we are in deep sleep, the world disappears. Same way, this agyan also is supported by Brahma only. Without Brahman supporting agyanam, then also this world will not appear. Right? So now this agyan, what happens is it becomes our what we call wound, ghav. In fact, in Hindi we have a word for a wound that does not heal. We call it nasur, something that does not heal. You can say in something in similar in English is like a cancer, right? Or if you apply that to something non-sentient, you can say like a termite, like a wood will be eaten up by termite, right? So now this agyan is like a cancer. It is like a cancer which doesn't heal. So without curing it, how can we cure it? By trying to turn our nature towards the true knowledge, right? So without trying to cure it, we try to cover it from above. But inside it has not healed. अंदर से तो वो भरा नहीं हुआ. So by using fake happiness from the objects of the universe, we think that attaining an object has given us happiness. So therefore we think that the all our agyan or the pain of the world has gone away. It will always be temporary. Any kind of happiness will come only for a short while, be it wealth, be it kids, be it wife, be it any kind of comforts. All of these will go with within a certain time. Right? So if it is said in Taittiriya Upanishad that even if someone is a ruler of the whole world, he still may be unhappy. There will always be something that he will feel that he is not having. No, so a lot of wealthy people, बहुत सारा पैसा है, but still they are not happy. So from above, he may appear happy, but no one knows how much pain is lurking below. Right? So how we remove that? All wrong knowledge, all kinds of wrong knowledge, they have ignorance as their cause. So when the real Paramatma is not seen, then the unreal world appears and the projection or viksheप happens. So how is this world created? How is this world appearing? First is Agyan doing the job of covering. So that is called avaran. Avaran. First, our real nature is hidden. Our real nature is hidden. So once real nature is hidden, then the false nature is projected. That is called vikshep. These are the two powers of Maya, we call them. Maya की दो शक्तियां हैं, आवरण और विक्षेप. So because our true nature of Brahman is hidden, then through avaran and vikshepa, Agyan does his job of manifesting the universe. एक अलग ही जगत हमको दिखा देता है. So till we remove that veil, that curtain, this parda of Agyanam, reality will not be visible. Our true nature will not be visible. So till we fix our vision or our drishti in Paramatma, that vikshepa or this projection will always remain. Of course, it will remain when you have taken birth till the end of this birth. प्रारब्ध जब तक है जगत दिखेगा. But once this prarabdha is gone, then it will go away. But even in this birth, even by seeing the world, we can see it as negated. We can see it as projection. And then it will not bother us. Just like if there is a movie and there is a lion projected on the screen, we will not be afraid. We know it will not eat us up. So if we can see this world as projection by understanding from a guru or shastra, then we will not be bothered, right? So now this Brahman or this soul reality, that is, he is our only support. He is our only support. All other supports are temporary. right? So the support of ignorance or agyan is also Paramatma only. So now this cause factor, this causality, we have seen it will remain with the sentient only. Insentient can take the support of the sentient. Insentient can take जो जड़ है वो चेतन का आश्रय ले सकता है. Insentient can take the support of the sentient to appear like it has become the cause, but ultimately the cause will be the sentient only. Like we say, tato, we saw yesterday also, tato akash sambhutah. So when the creation, the order of creation is mentioned, then first we say from that consciousness first came akasha. So who is the cause? Sentient. है ना, चेतन करता है. So he is the sentient. Then we say akashat vayu. So from akash and the vayu has come. Now you will say from jada akash the vayu has come. So jada is becoming cause. No, actually it's not true. Until and unless that sentient Brahman is present, the vayu can also not come about. Right? So always it will be the sentient itself producing something, or the sentient in association with something jada will produce something. Just like we cook food or whatever we make, whenever we make, we are sentient. We are using some material, some matter to mold it to produce something different. So this way, only a Chetan can produce something that is can become the cause, right? So actually, it is Brahman or Brahma plus Akasha, which will become the cause for Vayu, and so on down the chain for everything. For everything, we can say Brahma. We can also say Brahman is the cause of Vayu directly. He can produce Vayu directly also. He is not limited by that, because creation is not directly, it is not a linear causality. It is not linear कि एक के बाद एक के बाद एक ऐसा हो रहा है ना. भगवान चाहे तो एक क्षण में सब कुछ क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. If Lord wants, in one instant, he can create this whole universe, right? So when he creates this universe, there are two levels. There are two levels. One is the Vyashti, individual, and then other is the Samashti, right? So in the individual, like in the Jiva, in the being, there are, we call the Navadhatu, the 9 substances. What are the 9 substances? Twak or skin, then Asrik or blood, then we have Asthi or bone, then we have mass or muscle, we have made or fat. These are 5 we call Jada part, Shakti Mulak. They are produced from Devi. And then the remaining 4, Majja or bone marrow, Shukra or the semen, Pranaha, the life force, and Jiva. Jiva is the consciousness in the individual. These we call Shiva Mulak. So these 9 elements are running an individual. So just like these 9 elements are there in the individual, they are also in the total also. The whole universe also has these 9 elements. So now the Jiva and the Samashti, they are therefore intimately connected. I have given these 9, but you can connect everything. So we saw that just like we have a mind, there is a universal mind. Just like we have a buddhi, there is a universal buddhi. Just like we have a physical body, there is a Virat Sharir. The whole universe is the Sharir or the body of Bhagwan. Pura Virat. So this connection is always there. So now in this connection, the one who thinks himself as separate. So yesterday we saw, no, the one who thinks himself as one with this, he is a Devta. He is the Devta. He is a divine force. And the one who thinks he is separate from him, he is separate from the creation, he is the Asur, Rakshas. So he is the Asura. So Diti and Aditi, they are the mothers of these 2 sets of beings. So now this Jiva, when we are a Jiva, we have to integrate with the society. हमको समाज के साथ एक होके रहना है. So unless and until we do this oneness, the Jiva has to think of himself as one with the samaj. Otherwise, he will become like a termite, like a cancer also on society, when he separates or becomes selfish. So when we seek our selfish desire, we become a termite or a cancer for society. That is how does that happen? When I see myself as dual in Dvait, in duality, right? When I see something myself as separate. So whenever there is duality, wherever there is death, there will always be a disease. There will be a cancer on society. The society will always be in a problem of holding on. So this society now we have seen here, the Lord has given us what are the four categories of the four varnas. We saw here in the Purusha Sukta, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Right. So now, for us not to be a cancer to the society, these four are varnas are not they are not our rights. ये हमारा हक नहीं है. मैं ब्राह्मण हो गया मुझे ये मिलना चाहिए. No, nowhere. ये they are our duties. They are our duties. So we have to do our duties in according to the requirements of the universe. So when we do our duty towards the universe according to our capability. So today what has happened? There is reservation. Everyone, the wrong people are getting into the wrong jobs. So if someone is not a Brahman, he is doing the job of Brahman. He is doing administration. So what will happen if a Shudra? I'm not talking about Shudra as by birth. I'm talking about Shudra in the mentality. So if someone is Shudra by mentality, what is the mentality? He is not clean. Safai nahi rakhta. So he is there. So of course he will create gandagi or dirt in the society also. Right? He will not be disciplined. So that is why the right person has to be in the right job. If someone has aggressive nature, he has to be a Kshatriya. He has to be put in the job of defense. If you put a Shudra in that place, he will totally spoil it. There will be corruption. Why there is corruption in police? Right? So same way, Lord has created all of these four varnas so that we do our duties in our universe. When we do the duties in the universe will function like a well-oiled machine. Like a well-oiled machine, right? So therefore, he has sent us to do our duties. We have to generate the maximum resources for the universe. So I have repeated again and again, हम सबका एक ऋण है. We all have a debt to this universe. So many things the universe gives us. So it is our duty to keep working harder and harder to produce more and more things so that we can clear this debt. हम उस ऋण को चुका सके, right? So to clear that debt, we have to earn more and more, spend little bit on ourselves, whatever is minimum required, and the rest we have to give back, right? So in our Hindu culture, we don't have to give away 5-10%. We have to give away everything that is spare. If you are spending 90% of your income, you give away 10%. If you are spending 20%, you give away 80% also. So no fixed number. जितना आपको अपने के लिए चाहिए, but you have to keep striving. मेहनत करते रहना पड़ेगा ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रोड्यूस करने. You have to keep striving to produce more and more. That is the structure of this samaj. So if we have to keep this Varna Vyavastha, right? We have to understand that according to the Varna, everything is different. So Brahman का खाना भी अलग है, उसका रहना भी अलग है, उसका पानी, everything that every category has is different. Therefore, in those days, there used to be a separation. People thought it is discrimination. It is not discrimination. The Brahman is wanting to have sattvic food. So when he goes to another house, he will say, I will have only fruits. I will not have the food you cooked. Because his mindset is like that. Right? Same way, even a Vaishya will go to a Shudra's house. He will not eat that food because it is oily. It is cooked with a lot of heavy, fatty substances. So he will not accept that. So, but the Vaishya will have a problem in eating food there, but he will blame the Brahmin that why you didn't accept the food when you came to my house. Right? So we have to recognize this difference also. According to different person's vritti or thought or different his intellectual capacity, his food, his living, khana, pina, rehen sen, sab alag hoga. Everything will be different. So this is how this vyavastha was created. Same way with this samaj. So sometimes, we say that this politician sab chor hai. We say politician is a thief. So what is happening is that we are not taking responsibility for the politician. For us, he has become jada. So there are two levels. There is one is sentient, Chetan, or we can say the bhokta, the one who is the consumer. And the other level is what? The other level is the jada. The when we say he is the one who is consumed, जिसको खाया जाता है, भोग्य. So he is the bhogya. So two levels. So we have to always consider of understand ourselves as how as Chetan and Bhokta as a consumer and not as Bhogya. So once we make something else or anything else as Bhogya, problem comes in society. How? We can illustrate through many examples. So just like in the Samaj, when we are saying that a politician is a thief, वो चोर है. So then we are making him jada. We are not taking the responsibility that we have made that politician. We have appointed him. We have the power to pressure him to change. He will not do everything. We also have to do. So we are now sentient, Chetan. The ruler is jada. So like we can say example, with my eye, I see an object. मैं अपनी चक्षु से कुछ देखता हूँ. So how is the eye seeing the object? चक्षु कैसे देख रही है? Eye is seeing with the consciousness. चेतन के साथ जुड़ के. So I with consciousness sees the object, or there is a vase or a pot. Otherwise the eye cannot see. Same way, the ruler or the king, he does not do anything for the society, today's ruler. Why? Because he also doesn't become the bhokta. He wants to just make the praja or the people as jada or bhojya. So therefore, this creates duality. इससे द्वैत आ जाता है. No one wants to integrate. So who will rectify this fault? If people say that we are the makers of the ruler, they will rectify. If we accept responsibility that we have appointed these people, then they will rectify. So never say that it is government's duty, they will do. No, we have to create on them the pressure. Of course, it won't happen in one day and not one person can do. But if one person wills, he can change whole society around him. Right? So that is how we have to accept ourselves as Chetan. Don't make yourself jada. Don't create what we call duality. Once we remain Chetan, then we become the cause of everything. If I am becoming the cause of everything, then I take up responsibility. So therefore, I will take the responsibility to rectify any kind of fault. Right? So if the people are saying that we are the makers of the ruler, they will rectify. Same way, the ruler also will say, I am the support of the nation. मैं मेहनत करूंगा तब दुनिया पर तब ये चलेगा. So then he will become sentient. Right? Same way we can apply this at all levels. We can apply it at the level of the family. We can apply it at the level of the individual. So like in these days, the parents say, बच्चे बिगड़ गए हैं. Father will say the son is at fault. But the son will say opposite thing. Son says, पापा को समझ नहीं आता कुछ भी. Dad doesn't understand. So same way with the samashti also. Just like there are we saw 9 dhatus or materials in the individual, same way they are present in the total also. So just like there are termites or cancer in the body, same way there is a termite on Brahman also, the original from which everything has come. What is that termite or what is that cancer? That is ignorance, right? So and when we apply this to the society, what is the termite of society? What is the cancer of society? It is selfishness. मुझे मेरा मिल जाए बस, मुझे जो चाहिए वो मिल जाए. So that is the termite of society. So if we think the individual thinks that of himself as separate from the society, then he has duality. उसमें द्वैत आ गया. Then what will happen? He will fulfill only his own selfish needs, right? But someone who doesn't have this vision of duality, जो अपने आप को अलग नहीं देखता, who never sees himself as separate from society, he will never be selfish. You see a lot of people, you see the soldiers, how unselfish they are. They even give up their life for society, right? So we're watching this film Shaurya. So there, even though the character is negative, so he says, no, मैं हूँ तो तुम हो. Because I am protecting you, I am suffering in these heights. I am fighting the enemy. That is why you have the freedom to be able to enjoy all the good things in life. Same way, we also, each of us, have to take up that responsibility so that society can have more freedom, right? Because we don't see everyone with the same vision. Like if I have a son and I bring him to my business, do I have the same drishti with him as I have with someone who's my staff or my servant? I don't have. So son is working 2 hours. I will give him 20,000. But the staff is working for say full day, and he will get maybe 5,000, 10,000. Yeah. So it depends on what kind of duty we are given. So I can give my son anything at home, as he's my son. Whatever needs are required, I can fulfill. But when I take him to work, I have to give him according to the same value of what he produces, whatever he produces. At home, there is no restriction. So the same, I have to have this samadrishti. I have to have this even drishti in with everyone in the universe. Because my son is dependent on me, I can give him anything. That is different. But as his salary, I should be giving him only that. Same way when there is some loss also, no, my son has done some wrong business transaction. I will probably not blame him. Beta aage se dhyan rakhna. But the same thing if a staff does, we will be very very angry with him, right? So same. So in this way, we all want to hide our ignorance. हम सब अपने अज्ञान को छुपाना चाहते हैं. No one wants to anyone to know, no, there is that they are at fault. There is a saying, no, that uh, it is better to appear foolish and remain silent than to open your mouth and remove all doubt, right? जैसे ही तुम बुद्धू हो, तो तब तो किसी में शक रहेगा. Someone will still say maybe he is not. But the moment you are ignorant and yet you speak something stupid, then it is confirmed, right? So same way, because we also need to all accept wherever we are ignorant, then only we can remove. जब तक हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे ना, till we accept that we are ignorant, because of our ignorance we are now trapped in this world, we are doing all this karmas to trap in this world, we will not be able to get out of this cycle. And same thing we can apply at the level of society also. So whatever I'm doing for society, I have to have the knowledge. I have to have the knowledge of how to function in society. So therefore, we should not seek to give excuses. We should not seek to give any kind of excuses. That is why, to hide any of these, inequalities in the universal system, we give a different kind of justification. We give like prarabdha. Everyone has their own prarabdha. He says. So now, if you look at prarabdha, then the thief who has stolen something from you, then also accept that he has also got by his own prarabdha. उसको भी प्रारब्ध से मिला, ये भी मानो कि, है ना? So there we are applying prarabdhavad, we are applying duality. But for thief, we are not applying it. We are saying he is responsible for his crime. So therefore, we have to be very, very careful whenever we are applying this law that we are saying about food and different duties that we have in, like for the Brahman, Shudra also, we have to apply it universally. Whenever we apply a law, apply it universally. So like if we say that someone is a Brahman and he is what a Brahman by name only, नाम का ही ब्राह्मण है, ये तो business करता है हमारे यहाँ. So then don't blame him for if he's not doing something that is not according to what a Brahman should do. Then call him a Vaishya only. Then call him a Vaishya. Or if he is in the army, call him a Kshatriya. So that way, we should either accept one or the other, but wherever we are doing, the Dharma Shastra is only one. Right? We have to have a same set of rules for everyone, right? So if we have the same set of rules, then we will not be blaming each other for what is not being done, right? So like the government is doing something, like we are saying they are not good roads, they are not clean roads. So I am not paying my taxes. Then I blame that the government is not doing it. So earlier there was only income tax. Other taxes were not there. So if people had paid their taxes, the figure was that not even 0.5% of people gave income tax. So then the government is forced to impose another tax. So then they are paying, they're imposing GST, or earlier it was a different tax on the products, right? So they impose. So now earlier we had to bribe one income tax official so that he will not bother us. Now we have to bribe a lot of others. So because there are so many new taxes have been created. So if we had handled the problem we had accepted our responsibility at the initial level, then all these other taxes would not have come, right? So therefore, a host of problems we have only invited on ourselves. So if we want to integrate in society, we have to take up this responsibility, right? So
But what
just
about those who pay the taxes? Like there are honest taxpayers, although they also suffer, no, then.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, it is not their fault, right? But that doesn't mean that some are not paying taxes. You also stop paying taxes, or you manipulate your returns, right? Everyone manipulates. No one pays their full taxes. So thing is, today, of course, the government has made it easier. Up to 12 lakh, most people you don't have to pay. So that is a huge relief for a lot of people. But what I mean to say is, if you make a proper calculation, probably 60% of the population will need to pay taxes if we declare the proper income, right? So because we don't do that, look, today the exemption is up to 60% of up to 12 lakhs. But if sale tax and all were not there, then would it be possible for us to have these exemptions? It would not have been possible, right? So for us to have these exemptions, the only reason is that we all the people were not paying taxes. So once everyone is paying taxes, then you don't need sale tax or other taxes, right? So that is why we have to take our responsibility. We have to contribute also towards society. Once we contribute, then only the rulers or the government, then they can do something for us, right? There. So just like we saw this thing, this ignorance is the termite of Brahman. Selfishness is the termite of society. Same way as the ignorance, agyan within us, it makes us develop a wrong notion. It becomes a termite for our soul. वो हमारी आत्मा का घुन बन जाता है. It eats up our soul. So here we are talking about the individual soul and not the total soul. So this individual soul, he develops a vision whereby everything has to be according to his desires. Everything has to be according to his desires. And therefore, when his desires are not fulfilled, he blames the society. मुझे ये नहीं मिला, मुझे वो नहीं मिला, मैंने इतना किया. So that kind of thing happens when we don't accept or don't give back to society as much as we should have given, right? So we shift the blame, right? And we do this duality with ourselves also. No, we do all of this duality with ourselves. So time is up, but I need 5 more minutes. Can we continue and just finish this topic? Okay. So now, how are we applying this duality? हम इस द्वैत में क्यों फंस रहे हैं? Why? Because we don't accept responsibility. I had this doubt a lot of times when earlier I used to study Vedanta. So what is that wrong notion? I didn't do this. मैंने नहीं किया. So how can you say मैंने नहीं किया? We say this because we say I am Atma, I am Akarta. This was done by the mind or the hand or the body. I didn't do it. We think of it that way. We think that way. Man buddhi ke karan. But then we have to think again. You have to think again that is the cause Chetan or Jada? What did we study earlier? Understand earlier. The cause will always have to be Chetan. है ना? तो करता तो चेतन ही होगा. So now I didn't do anything. I am saying mind and body did it. I am not attached to it. I am a Sangoham, Nityoham, and so on. But we have to remember that Vedanta is also saying that the cause is always sentient, right? So if you say that I attached with the I and became the cause, or I mistook myself as the Antakaran, or the inner instrument and became the cause, then it is okay that I am taking the responsibility in association with the instrument. But if I assign the causality, the karanatvam, or the reason of being the source of something, then that reasoning is in opposition to Vedanta. ये वेदांत के खिलाफ है. So sentient will always say, I don't have this illness, then why should I remove it? So if this Chetan, this Atma will say कि मेरे में तो ये प्रॉब्लम है नहीं, ये तो मन की है, इच्छाएं तो मन में है, तो मैं क्यों रिमूव करूं? Why should I remove it? So the reasoning is not correct. The reasoning should be, I am responsible because of the wrong knowledge that I have. Because of the wrong knowledge that I am the doer. And because of that, I am creating desires and I am doing things because of this wrong notion only. So actually, it is my fault that because of my wrong knowledge, I am doing the wrong things, right? So therefore, if I do a crime, I cannot give up responsibility that it is that of the body or the mind. So therefore, that means there is what I have to understand is something is wrong with my knowledge. कहीं मेरा ज्ञान गलत है. Because जो ज्ञान होगा वही तो कुछ करवा सकता है ना. It is knowledge only that can make us do something. So I go to the Shastra or I go to the Guru and I correct that knowledge, and then accordingly I will mold my behavior. Right? Because right now what is happening? Right now I am viewing the world through the lens of my sense organs. ये मेरा साधन है पूरी सृष्टि को जानने का. So and what is happening with the sense organ? They are covered by the different colors. Just like a spectacle, if it is blue, the world will appear blue. If it is red, will appear red. Similarly, the gunas, the three gunas and their multiple variations, they have distorted our view. हमारा व्यू में हमें जो संसार दिखता है वो हमारे गुणों के अनुसार दिखता है. So our view of the world is colored by these lenses of the gunas, right? And therefore my behavior is also according to what I see. So first I need to remove these gunas or these distortions of vasanas, and then I have to develop the right knowledge and then correct my behavior in the world, right? So if in a society we see a fault and we say, why should I remove it? Let the rulers remove it, let the politicians remove it. Then someone will say elections have gone by 6 months, still there is nothing has been done, or war is going on, still no result. So we are becoming impatient. So what is happening is we are associating causality towards only the government and not to ourselves, that whenever we have put out a thought, it will take some time for the execution. We cannot be impatient, but we are impatient. We think that the ruler should produce instant result. So मैंने उसको ड्यूटी दी, इतना टाइम है वो तो लगेगा ना. If he doesn't do, then I can put the blame and seek for a more correct result in the next time, right? Or whenever some next opportunity appears. So according to Vedanta, the I is sentient towards the vase. When I'm seeing a pot or a vase, then the I is sentient. The vase is I is associated with the consciousness. It is seeing the vase, and the desire for this vase. There's a beautiful vase. The desire for this vase is sentient. ये चेतन है, ये हमारे अंदर जो इच्छा है. But what about the vase itself? What about that vase? The vase is insentient. वो जड़ है. Same way we can go back. The I itself is insentient with respect to the mind. I is insentient with respect to the mind. So mind can see whether the I is weak or strong. So with respect to the witness consciousness, the mind is insentient. It can see the consciousness can see that mind is in various states. मन की अलग अलग अवस्थाओं को चेतन जान रहा है. Right? So same way, the people who are electing the ruler, so the ruler is insentient for them. Nischay for them. He is their food or bhogya. He is their food or bhogya. So unless and until we assign this sentiency to ourselves, जब तक हम खुद को चेतन नहीं जानेंगे, हम समाज में परिवर्तन नहीं ला सकेंगे. We cannot effect a change in the society unless we accept ourselves as sentient and do something for the society by that vision, उस दृष्टि के अनुसार कार्य करें, right? So we'll see more of this in the next class, and we'll wind up for today. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.